Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Steve Believes coming at you live from the heart of West Baltimore. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep to observe what's going on around us through the lens of faith. All right, there's a movie called Civil War and it's coming out, and I'm not talking about the Avengers. I'm talking about a movie that has been in the works, and the trailer's out now. And the thing is, that lets you know what I've been saying has been true. They're going to make this one world government. And to make this one world government, they need America to be invaded and attacked. One fellow said there are over 3,000 people a week, at least, coming across his farm through the gap in the fence. And this gap in the fence has been on TikTok. There are instructions to tell people how to get into this country illegally. And CNN did a story on it, and it was wide open. And they watched it and they seen it and documented it for themselves. They said at least over 300 people were pulling up. I think it was like 300 people every half an hour. And they were being smuggled to that location, and they just walk around the little gap in the fence like it's very easy. And what gets me is, why didn't they put that area of the fence all the way to the wall? Well, to the rocks. They didn't plan on doing it. They left it open because they knew they were going to do this thing that's going to spark this civil war that's coming. If you pay attention to what's happening, they're not just regular people coming across the border from south of the border. A lot of those people are Chinese. Some are Chinese military. Some say ex-military, but some say they're still military. But there's a lot of sleeper cells, according to most people, that are coming across our border and waiting to strike strategically. Now, that may sound a little far-fetched, but it is the truth. I don't know why people have a hard time believing this. Our government has been involved in a lot of questionable things, but I'm going to show you some of this movie. How did they decide to make this movie when these things hadn't become an issue yet? Now that they're issued, the movie is ready to drop. What they're doing is they're feeling the fire and they're trying to get us to react. I'm going to tell you, do not react, brothers and sisters. But let me go ahead and play this clip for you.
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
19 states.
Assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything.
I'm guys aware there's a pretty huge civil war going on all across America.
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens?
We're moving to D.C. today.
You need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight of me.
Let us pause it right there real quick, because it just dawned on me. He asked them, and he said, Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes on American citizens? Just recently, Biden was in the news, and he was talking about guns right activists, people who were like regular citizens who do not want their right to bear arms infringed upon. And what he said was that he laughed about it. He said, if you want to fight the military, you're going to need F-16s. He told them you're going to need jets and planes. Now they're talking about airstrikes against U.S. citizens on this movie about a civil war that has been made and is coming out. It was made before this crisis happened, before this invasion, and it's coming out soon. This makes no sense unless it's something that's going to come to pass.
Capital, every instinct in me says this is death.
Blooded.
Every time I survived the war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do that. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here.
What?
Well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th. Oh my God. You're in the Whoa,
We're gonna have five. Maybe.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
With your word of God and on a young.
Now, I want you to know that this movie is dropping this spring. So that means this movie has already been made, and it was being made in 2023 or 2022 or whatever have you. But it was before the crisis of the invasion was on the news. Now, at this border gap, CNN has already documented every half an hour there were people pulling up, and you would think they would be south of the border, people migrating here or invading. No, these people weren't from the south of the border. They were from China and places like that. Some of them were military. Now, CNN did not go into that part, so I'm not going to say that CNN was documenting military people. But we found out recently that they have caught some Chinese military. You could say ex-military or what, but I believe a lot of these people coming across the border are saboteurs, and our government knows what's going on, and we're hoping that it becomes a civil war because these people are going to attack. And when they attack the American public, we're going to have an issue. Most people are going to rise up and be upset. And in the midst of that, I've said it before, United Nations are going to step in like the hero. And when they step in, they're going to take over America, but they're not going to give it back. They already have it anyway, to be honest, but they're just going to do it out in the open, and they're not going to give it back or relinquish power. And after getting America, the freest place in the world, even though it's not that free anymore, after they get that, they're going to get everything. Every single country, every continent, they're going to wrap it all up in a bowl and make it a one world government and present it to the Antichrist. If you notice, in recent years, our morals have eroded away. The things that they're teaching in school, the things that they're teaching to our children, the movies, the music, the images that are being shown to our children, everything is meant to wipe away our morals, to make us a nation of perverts. Because believe me, it's happening. And if you don't notice that it's happening, I'm quite sure that you have become slightly perverted, if not full force. It's happening to the best of us if we don't pay attention and we don't put our faith in the Lord. Only God can wake people up from this strong delusion, and there is a strong delusion. I'm trying to tell you, people, wake up. Don't participate in any civil war. That is exactly what they want you to do so they can take over. Don't believe them. Don't fall for it, because that's what's happening. Now, to see this movie coming out with all this stuff going on, it lets me know what's happening. But I got one more video. There's a couple of them, but I'm going to make this short. So I got another video I want you to see. All right, now check this video. Potential civil war. Texas residents warn as Army of God convoy aims to deter illegal immigrants. Now they're calling themselves the Army of God. I mean, really think about what's happening here. This is Eagle Pass, Texas, to take back the border convoy.
This is horrible what's happening to us. And wherever, I have some ladies over there, and that they drove all the way in from Oregon.
This was just a little sign of show of respect for Texas and what they're doing. We just want people that come into our country legally and respect our way of life and the laws, and to welcome it. I mean, my grandparents came from Italy, and so I mean, yeah, we're all immigrants of some sort, but we came in to be become American, to love America.
Political pundits, certain individuals, certain groups claiming to be an army of God are coming to our community to spread hate and to spread dissension. And I'm troubled by that because this is not who we are. So we need this to stop. And there's only one individual that can stop this, and that is our governor. But as you may have heard, he's going to be here on Sunday. The last time he was here, he brought 4 of his buddies. Now he's bringing 10 more. Total of 14 governors coming to our community to spread hate, false narrative, and to put our culture down and to put our community down. Now this governor needs to represent 100% of the people that are Texans. You know, on April the 8th at exactly 12:57, this community is going to go dark for 4.5 minutes. It's going to be a total solar eclipse. And I was hoping when I heard about this 7 years ago that Eagle Pass would be recognized as the first point where you can see the eclipse. But now we're known as this point where a potential civil war might commence.
Now you see that, and you see there's people on both sides. There is going to be a civil war. Make no mistake about it. But I just want you guys to stay prayed up. Don't just fall for anything, because there's a lot of misinformation being put out. And that goes for both sides. But in general, we cannot have people coming across our border and we're not doing anything about it. The president of the United States has already said that the fence need to be removed, the razor wire, so that the Border Patrol agents can have access. What? Access to the other side? What do they need access for the other side? They only need access to this side right here, and to make sure nobody gets across it. And the thing is, if you got that razor wire right there, that stops a lot of people. They say, well, people are getting hurt trying to cross the razor wire. Well, if you're trying to walk through fire, you're going to get burnt. All I'm hearing is the excuse for taking the razor wire down is access. When we don't need access, that's a barrier between the Border Patrol agent and these cartels and these people who are trying to come across our border. You need that there to protect the U.S. Patrol and Border Patrol agents. So they have some sort of barrier in between them and the illegal invaders. It makes no sense to say they need access to the other side. All they need is that just something to stop people from coming across, and they're the last line of defense. If someone does get across, then they stop that and nip it in the bud. But when you take down the fence, you're saying come across. Our people on our side of the fence, they don't need access to the other side of the fence. So that's something stupid. And anybody who walks through razor wire deserves to be cut. It's simple as that. It's common sense. Unless you're out of your mind, you know better than come through razor wire. But they know America's soft now. So you're going to just let them across and patch them up. And I doubt anybody. Did you see that razor wire? Let me go back. Now look at that. I doubt people are walking across that. Now they might stop right there where you see the people right there in the little barrier right here. Yeah, they might stop right there, but they're not walking up around there. And the thing is, when they're going up, it's places for them to get up and get in those little crevices right there. But they didn't. You can see they're not cut up, so they didn't even walk across that level of razor wire that we see, because they're not cut up. It's kids and stuff like that. They didn't walk up there. They came around on the side where there's open spots, and that's the end of it. But do not let anyone fool you. This is what our government wants, so they can come out in the open and say, hey, this is one world government. United Nations is running everything. And even though that's not going to be true, but for a long time, this has not been America. When George Bush went to war, he said he didn't need Congress approval. He had the approval of the United Nations. You don't get approval from the United Nations. You get approval from the Congress. Our Congress members were elected by us, the citizens, to represent us, the citizens. There's no reason for you to get orders or permission for anywhere else, because we're the only ones who can approve it. Man, y'all got to wake up and see what's really happening here. We're living in the end times. I'm going to tell y'all, stay prayed up and get your Christ on so you can get your life on.